I'm Ayse Hogan from the Chakra House of Healing, and I want to welcome you for joining us today. Today our guest is Sharon McGregor from Spirits Are We, and she is a medium. So this is a little bit different than what we've had in the past, and I'm really, really looking forward to this show. Hi, Sharon.
Hi.
How are you doing?
I'm doing very well, thank you.
So you came into mediumship quite by, for lack of a better word, I'm going to say quite by accident.
Yeah.
Your son had an accident.
He was killed.
At the age of 17.
Yes.
Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, he had been drinking and driving. He'd been to a party the night before and had come home and took my car to go to the local store and basically crashed the car and killed himself.
Now, you told me a really interesting story about how you found your son.
Yeah.
You actually found him.
Yes. Yeah, it was on a Saturday and I was working that morning, and I went to obviously get my car to go to work, and the car had gone, and I didn't know whether it had been stolen or what had happened. I wasn't sure. So a friend of mine drove me to work, and I was just trying to get hold of my son to find out where he was, and eventually my boss said, here's my car keys, go and, you know, basically look for him.
Right.
I had my friend, two friends actually, I had two friends who I knew were working in the area or in the area. I had them just look for the car, for my car, to see it and see if they could find Matthew. And obviously nobody could, and so I went out, used my car, my boss's car, and just drove around looking. And basically I went down McCraney Road,
Right.
and there was a tape again across the road, and all the cars were being turned around and diverted. But I stopped and pulled over, and
It's okay, take a second. You stopped and pulled over, and
Yeah.
you were
and I
speaking
just
to a
spoke.
police
I spoke
officer,
to
right?
I spoke to the police officer, and I just said to him, like, I'm looking for my son. He's driving a blue car, and you know, blah blah blah. Like, I think now, like, who would have done that? Who you
were
normally would
driving
just
all
drive around.
You were just driving around, and you actually
Exactly.
found the accident.
Yeah, yeah. And I just looked over his shoulder, because he was trying to move me away as he was talking to me. He asked my name and things like that, and he tried to move me away, and I just looked over his shoulder and I saw the accident. I saw his car, and he was still in the car at the time, but they wouldn't let me go and see him.
I'm really sorry that you went through that. That's got to be, as a mother, it's bad enough to get the news, but to actually run across the accident.
Yeah.
And in the way that you did. I mean, you went to work, and he had already taken the car
Yeah.
somewhere early in the morning
Yeah,
before
it
you
was
woke
about-
up,
Yeah.
and you found him.
Yeah. And I don't know why. I mean, mother's intuition.
And you actually went
But-
to a house of someone that he didn't even associate with, because
He
you'd
knew-
already exhausted all of his other friends.
Yeah, and it was just one more person who I knew in my heart he wouldn't be there, but something made me go down that road towards that. So there was a reason for it.
Yeah. How soon after that did you start getting visions?
I didn't start getting visions until I started developing mediumship. After he died, I went to so many mediums.
Right.
Like, I spent a fortune, as my husband did as well. We both went to mediums just to hear from him, just to know that he was okay. And then it was, he died in the March, so it was probably about the June, July, that somebody said, you can do this yourself. And it was like, yeah, seriously.
Right.
You have to be chosen. You know, I always assumed that
That's what I thought too,
you're born.
right?
You know, we are all born with the intuition. We're all psychics, to one way or another. But my belief was you had to be special to be a medium, to connect with the dead.
Right.
But then someone said to me, you know, we can all learn this, and I just thought, so I did. And I just went to development classes. The first development class that I was at, I smelt him straight away. Because he
That's awesome.
loved
That's
aftershave, my
amazing.
son. Loved it. And he was there, he came, and I just broke down. And I just said, okay, if this is you, Matthew, go away and come back. And it did. So I was
It's amazing
hooked.
the power that we have when we want something.
Oh, yeah.
And you know, which goes to, you know, us as people that help people heal, we all know that it's not us that's doing the healing.
No,
I say this all the
absolutely.
time.
We're just the channel.
That they're healing within themselves, right? And we're just facilitating that. We're guiding them through their healing.
Exactly.
And the fact that we all have these gifts and we just have to want it.
Exactly.
Or a reason has to
Exactly.
come to trigger it or whatever, which in your case, this happened. And it's incredible.
Yeah.
It's incredible that you are actually able to now help other people.
Exactly.
And we all have our way of doing it. You know, when I do it my own way, and I take people in to speak to people who have passed, not in the same way that you do it, but I do it in a different fashion. So it's just, we all have it. Like
We do.
everyone who's watching has something.
Absolutely. To
And
a
it's-
certain degree.
And it's been stifled through just, you know, upbringing and
absolutely.
and what's acceptable and what's not acceptable in society and what's normal and stay inside the box and
Exactly.
all of that. So, you know, I guess the message is get out of the box.
I was
take the
just going to
box and
say,
throw it
that's
away.
exactly
Right.
what I was going to say to you. It's this box. This box needs to be getting rid of. Like,
Well,
no
it starts
more
right
box.
from when we're kids, right? Your
Exactly.
parents just say, stay
Yeah.
inside the sandbox.
Yeah,
It's like, no,
Gotta
get out of
that
box. Yeah,
absolutely.
definitely.
That box is not there anymore.
So now you do you see a little bit uniquely.
Well, I see the way I see. I don't see with my physical eyes, like I don't see spirit like I see you.
Right.
They normally come through to me as images of TV shows or movies or, you know, characters in a show and things like that. Because I watch a lot of TV. So, you know, it's research. I can sit and watch TV and be a couch potato and it's okay, it's research. But that's how they show themselves with me. It's like an image or a memory will come through and it's my memory.
Right.
But a lot of the times, yeah, it's movies and they'll show a scene from a movie with a character. So I have to figure out, is it just the name of the character that they're trying to come through with, or it's something to do with the show or the
Right.
scene or something like that. So you have to sort of talk your way through it and tell your client what you're seeing. And I totally trust spirit and why they're showing it me that way. And I'm always in awe.
That's amazing.
It's
We're just
so
going to
weird.
head to a Zen break, and then I want to kind of like if you can share an example.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay? That would be awesome.
Perfect.
Let's go to a Zen break.
Hi, it's Tarek Sitar of the Ontario Hypnosis Centre here with you for another quick Zen break. I just wanted to share with you a technique I learned from Dr. Stephen Porges called the polyvagal breathing technique. And this breathing technique basically is about activating what's known as the reptilian vagus nerve and also activating what's known as the mammalian vagus nerve. The vagus nerve is the nerve that connects the stomach to the brain, and it's typically activated when we're in situations of fight or flight, that's the reptilian, or what we call peacetime activity, that's the mammalian. Now, there are two patterns of breathing you have to go through. The first is taking a very long, deep breath in and exhaling very quickly and repeating that 5 to 10 times. So then you do the opposite, taking a very quick breath in and exhaling as long as you can, maybe a minute or even longer. So you take the long breath in and exhale very quickly, 5 to 10 repetitions, and then immediately follow it with taking that quick breath in and exhaling very slowly, another 5 to 10 repetitions. You should find you feel a bit anxious in the first round and very calm in the second. By doing this, you're training your body to naturally become calm after it experienced an episode of anxiety. Practice 2 to 3 times a day, every day for about 3 to 4 weeks, and you should find anxiety lasts for a very short period of time.
Hi, welcome back. Sharon, can you give me an example or just give us a sort of, I mean, I know we can't speak about people's personal finds, but just sort of like an example.
Okay. So the one that comes to my mind at the moment was the movie Grease.
Right?
Okay, I think
everybody knows
everyone's
Grease,
seen
yeah.
Grease. So the scene that came to me was at the end where they're at the fairground, you know, the end of the show, and obviously John Travolta's there, and I was just seeing that fairground, and so I'm saying to the lady, there's got to be something, this is what I'm seeing, John Travolta, like in the James Dean look. It's either the name or there's something to do with that scene. And no. And actually her mother was there at the same time. So her mother said that I'd also actually got that, I felt it was an uncle figure.
Okay.
I'd already established that, but there was something about Greece. And it turned out that her uncle was called John. And
Right.
in the 50s, he worked on the fairgrounds.
Ah,
So that's how it came to me.
okay.
Was the name John, and that's what he did. So that's why I say I trust totally whatever the scene is or whatever it is they come through with. I trust it. There's a reason for it.
That's amazing. And
Yeah.
this is your own individual way of,
Yeah.
unique, authentic way of doing it.
But
That's so
spirit
awesome.
use what people know. You know, whatever it is, whether you're an avid reader, whether you're a mathematician,
Right.
whatever it is, they'll use what you know in order for you to establish who it is that's coming through and to verify and validate things.
You know what? Like you say that, like something in my head just kind of went click, and it's true because I work, between my clinic and then the show and other things that I do. That it's like I don't have a lot of time when people say, "Do you meditate? Do you meditate?
Yeah.
Do you meditate?" And I'm like, I try, but I can't always sit down for an hour every day
Yes.
or whatever
Yeah.
because I'm just too busy. And by the end of the day, I'm just exhausted. I want to sleep. And when I get messages or something like a vision, it always comes in my sleep.
In your sleep.
Like when I'm dreaming, that seems to be the time when they can send me
it's
a
the only
message.
time you've slowed down.
So you're right. They just
Yeah.
sort of get what's unique to you and work with that.
Yeah, yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah, I love
So you
it.
came in here the other day and I was doing some hypno Reiki on you a little bit, and you came to me and you said that you saw I've got a message from my father.
Yes. And that doesn't normally happen with me, to be honest with you. When I started doing this, I kind of made strict guidelines that I don't want to be giving messages, walking down the street, things. I don't want to be doing like that. We have to live in this world as well.
Right.
So it's like when I'm working, then you come to me. But obviously he needed to come. So they'll slip through every now and then. And obviously if the message is there, I'll give it. But you've got to be careful because not everyone's open to receiving
Right.
messages.
No, you asked me. You did ask me if it was okay.
Yeah. But like I say, normally it's like, no, unless I'm working, you need to leave me alone. But no, he wanted to come through.
Yeah, no, it was
Really
great
nice.
that he did come through, and he had said that. I mean, a lot of people have been reading a little bit of my bio and stuff and know that I've had a bit of a dysfunctional past with him.
And to be honest with you, I didn't know. I honestly, I haven't read your bio.
What?
Sorry.
Doesn't everybody read
but
about
you
me?
know, I will now. But I didn't. I honestly didn't.
So it was nice to hear the apology from him.
Yeah.
And it was the fact that you described him when he was young, like that tall, really
Yeah.
slim. He was so slim, like his pants would just like hang
Yeah,
off of
yeah.
him slim. So it was nice to hear that, and it was
They used my grandfather as to bring it through, because that's why I said to you, it's a father figure, which is a father grandfather, and my grandfather is tall and slim.
Right.
So that's what he showed me. So that's how it comes through.
right.
So it could have been a grandfather figure, and that's why I said to you, I'm not sure if it was a father or a grandfather.
Well,
They
I didn't
were
really know
showing
I didn't know my grandparent, like my
No, but
grandfather,
it's just
so
it,
I knew
was
right away it
because
was
of
my
the,
dad.
Yeah. But it was just because of the image that came through was of my grandfather, the tall, skinny.
It was very cool, and it was nice. And
Good.
you made me cry, but it was good.
I know.
It was good.
I know. But you know what? It was needed. That's obviously why it came through very strong. You needed to hear it.
So if somebody was going to come to you and say, why do I need, or why would I want to see a medium?
It's healing.
Okay.
It's healing. And I mean, for me, when I went to mediums, I just needed to hear from Matthew to know he was okay. And that was all it was.
Are you able to do it more for yourself?
It's hard to do for yourself, or I find it hard. Everyone's different, but I find it hard for myself. He'll come through when I really, really need him. But when he first passed, I got a lot of signs. I'm a cloud watcher, and we like on my business card.
What is a cloud watcher?
Oh, sorry. I just I just
I'm
look
like,
at,
she's a
I just
what?
watch clouds. I just like looking at clouds and
Okay.
seeing figures and seeing things.
I thought it was just like another holistic healing.
No. It's just mesmerizing. I find it mesmerizing, and I like to look at clouds and I see things. And on my business card and on my website, there's a cloud with a heart shape in it. And that was actually the first Father's Day after my son passed. We were at the cemetery, my husband and I just looked up and I said, okay, Matthew, your dad needs a sign from you to know you're okay. Sorry.
It's okay. It's okay.
And then...
you saw the cloud?
Yeah. Above our car, there was the cloud with the heart. And there's your sign.
That's amazing.
And we've had a few clouds with signs on from Matthew.
That's awesome.
And various other things. So, but that was at the beginning.
Right.
Not so much now. And I got quite upset about it. And I just sat. I don't meditate very much, like you, and I find it hard. But I was just sat one day, and I just said, Matthew, like, why am I not hearing from you? Like, you know, what's going on? And it just come to me. It was like I didn't need him as much anymore. And you know, almost 6 years down the line, I miss him more than you can imagine.
I don't think the missing. Like my father's been gone also like 6-7 years now, and I don't think the pain ever dulls. I just think we, as humans, we adapt.
Exactly.
You know, we adapt to the pain, but we don't. It doesn't lessen.
No, it doesn't. And that's why I didn't need him as much anymore. I didn't need to have them signs as much, and it made sense. Like he's got things to do. He's got jobs to do. They don't just sit up there on clouds.
And the great message I think is from all of that is for people to actually start watching for signs.
Yes.
Take off the blinders.
Absolutely.
Take a look around you.
Get out of that box.
And it's even something that I always tell people is just like, get off of autopilot.
Yeah.
You know,
absolutely.
start taking a different way to work. Start stopping at different coffee shops.
Looking around.
Look around. Stop.
Yeah.
Think about what you're doing. Don't just do it because you've done it the same way every day. And it's just, try something different.
Red lights. My husband, every red light comes up because he's there. It's like, this is red light just because he's driving. And I keep saying, there's a reason maybe that red light's there. Look around. Is there something you need to see?
Could very well be.
Or is there a car that's going to come zooming down the road that might have hit you if you'd have got through? I mean, just take the time.
And maybe that's the message.
Exactly.
Take the time. It's time for you to look around.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Sharon, for
You're
coming
very
out
welcome.
and sharing your story and telling us the amazing gift that came from it for you. And
it's my turn to give back now.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Thanks so much.
You're very welcome.
Thank you for coming out to the Chakra House of Healing. We'd like to thank our sponsors. You can catch us on YouTube, on Vimeo, on Health Local, and of course on the Big Book of Beauty. We have some great new things coming up soon, and don't forget to subscribe to the show. Check us on Zen Focus, and talk to you soon. Have a great day.